Alright, well, we have inserted some data into this table. I guess that the next thing we want to do is get some data. So let's take a look at the way that we do that with this idea of a secret statement. So we get selected. In this case, I have say select start. What that about the means want all of the columns right. So shorthand that for saying just bring me back all of the columns in the database, and because I haven't filters on the rules either effectively, what I'm doing is bringing back all of the data in that table. And that's okay for a teaching example, but I want to do that my applications. I suspect you don't. As your table get larger and you are accessing this thing over network, you don't want to be bringing about data unnecessarily. So I would advise people don't use select start unless and it's a very small table or just you are testing things out. Typically you specify the specific columns that you want to specify that the specific columns there. You go and have talked about the tautology. So we are getting the product ID, that the name and the price from the product table in this case, and in my result set underneath that exactly what I get. I get those columns and as order in which I list them in the selected codes determined, or in which they come back right exactly. Now in this case is something interesting go, and I brought back the name product, but I have specified bring my names as product, so I am giving it a different name, and the result said it's listen the result. The column is called product, also the original column is called name, and similarly for the price, I'm not just doing about the price and bring about the price times, not the point nine, not print nine is other words. Take 10% of off, and the I'll have to check with the manager. We may have to check that I've got permission to that the app notice that's not going ahead. And it's the multiple, the prep where there is a price, it's a multiple, it's by not unique 9 to give me that value where the price is new or something, anything multiple by new is known and known value divided by the unknown. So we got no, and interestingly, it's not out. No, it's not out like I'm doing an operation on zero here, but the default behavior, and you can change this with a few and setting, but default behavior is that new. If you do an operation or new any operation with new result in new, which makes sense, you know that there is a known price. I don't know, multiple by 10 is a thing, I don't know. Now, in this case, I am applying the where clause, and that the new thing that we're introducing in the select statement at this point to show how we could filter the rows. We have seen how this specifies the columns I want. In this case, I also filtering on the rows and bring me back only the product where the supply is supplies that we do not, and one was the thing that you will need to get used to, and something we cover in more depth in our T-SQL MBA and some of other T-SQL causes in the order in which the database engine is interpreting and that the statement that also so learning that it looks at from closed and that it applied where the filter before it it is then selected the columns start start to help you understand that the date statement get more complex what the output is going to be, but I keep it small now. Yeah, that exactly. There is an underlined engine that's the querying engine that interpreted the SQL. You type the SQL actually is a very I think it's quite intuitive. It says test, you could read and pretty much know what it does, even you have never done any secret before. It not necessary what get interrupted under the covers by the query engine. So some key points were covered. Then we insert data into a table using the insert statement, and when we do that, we can either specify explicit columns or we can support default or nose and then certain to those values. We can select data from a table using the SQL statement, and we do that by specifying the columns or an expression with some calculations is that we can use that to bring back the way we want to get the result set. We can use uh, areas or alternative names if you like for the columns, and there is alternate set we use that closest to that we can filter rows using the where clause to bring back only the rows that satisfy that the filter criteria. So we got some demo of this show up right ahead. Indeed, let's go and take a look at creating a table in the SQL Server.